All right, so I thank Alex, Leia, and Handy Andy, and everybody else for helping me fix my bicycle. And yes, the police smashed my bicycle. And yes, I'm gonna say so. I'm not gonna change my heart and mind about it. All right, I'll show you it's working. I know you had to take off because you had to go to another job, but I want to show you Handy Andy, and thank you Alex and Leia. Check it out. It helps save battery. Like if I pedal a little, it saves some battery. But I love my children too. This video is also to my many beautiful, beautiful, beautiful children. I love you. This is your father. I'm so sorry for everything that's happening. I'll try to explain it to you later. Maybe you can explain some of it to me too. Sorry. I love everybody, especially my children. God knows I miss you. And the police apparently don't want me to have my children back because they've threatened threatened me and threatened to harm me, and they can be arrested too. And the whole system has ceased to be systemic, and corrections has been abuse for a long time. An asylum is a place that has been feared and been torture, and not a place of asylum or refuge at all. And the halls of education were fraught with perversion and personally perverted opinion. And the financial institutions were corrupt with what they call interest, what used to be called usury. And the so called governmental bodies were perverse with what was called extortion at one time, what is now called taxation. And the judge asketh for a reward, the prophet asketh for a reward, the peace officer asketh for a reward, and together they wrap it up. The very best of them is a briar and a thorn hedge. The whole head is sick. Chester Tabot from Secaucus was very kind to me, very stern man, very few words, but very kind and very helpful, and a true gentleman. Please get out of the police force because the hammer of judgment is coming down, brother, and you're a nice man. And Officer Bill from Montgomery, another nice man, and the chief from Kingston, you treated me right. I think you were a little scared when you see what was happening with these military people with their assault rifles. And I wish you wellness, and please get out of that uniform. God take care of you. God take care of your family. Good people get out of there because the hammer of judgment is coming down on this situation, and it's not going to be a joyful time. It's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And I don't want to say this is supposed to be like happy video, thank you for fixing my bike, but what's sad about the facts, right? What's sad about freedom? What's sad about revelation? What's sad about change, revolution, and change? It doesn't have to be violence, but these people, look what they did to me, man. I don't want to say anything dirty in front of my children, but I keep it clean. They felt me up. They slammed my face into the ground on my teeth and my nose, and they busted up my elbow and my knee, and wrenched my back and chained me to a bench, and took my mug shot and my fingerprints for resisting arrest. I was arrested for resisting arrest. When he got to the police station, he took his sweet time, several hours according to the clock, which is fast. And he then had to make a phone call and look up on the internet what to charge me for riding the bicycle on the wrong side of the road, which he called riding against the flow of traffic, which I was not. I was not in the road. I was crossing the street on the shoulder, and I don't care what he says about it. And then he charged me with obstruction of governmental administration to let me know he was upset about the video I posted about the other officers here in New Windsor. He pretended that he didn't know much about New Windsor and he didn't know the area code, I mean the zip code, and that he had potentially been following me for years, watching my YouTube videos, surveilling me, marking my phone calls, and potentially following me through Pennsylvania and possibly Bronx and New York City as well. And it's not the first time I've seen him. And he was shaking like this all over. And I said, what's going on there? It's like you got the bends or delirium tremens or something. What's going on, bro? And he says, oh, it's nicotine. But I don't know what was wrong with him, but he was clearly out of his gourd. And he said his name was Fury, Furey, and the other one said his name was Dubois. The other one said his name was Cononaut, like cosmonaut. And Dubois and his partner would not provide his first name. The other one's first name is Craig. The other one's first name is Jonathan. Anyway, this has got to stop. I'm banned from 52 places. I just talked to one of these guys in here and the corner store, and he knows. He's like, "You're a nice guy. We have rights too. We have rights too. You know, it's not right what they're doing to you." And I told him I'm banned from 52 places, bro. I mean, who's that happen to? And when have you ever heard of the police roughing somebody up, like bouncing them off the ground face first, bouncing them off the police car, getting violent with them, taking their pants down, and then letting them go? That never happens because they usually try to cover it up by sending me or whoever it is to the jailhouse, to the prison, maximum security with the razor wire and the total emasculation and shaming and everything and abuse, and maybe have to fight some very angry people who've been abused, which is not fun, and get robbed, and they take your money, and they mistreat you, and they leave the light on, and they sleep deprive you, and they torture you, and they mock you, and they charge you with crimes whilst you're in the prison and create what they call a rap sheet. It's like Hefner said, you're what's known as a person of interest. He said, you have nothing to worry about unless, of course, you're what's known as a person of interest. If I'm so interesting and I'm so prolific on the guitar as Craig Fury or whatever his name is said, Stephen Craig Fury or Craig Fury or whatever his name is, if I'm so proficient on guitar as Santana said and the rest of them, and I'm such a person of interest, then why am I banned from 52 places and beaten and tortured? And why is the Google and YouTube search engines linking up, the videos of me and some of my children at Sleepover Girl 99, all one word, no spaces or caps, 99 as numerals. If you don't find it at first, search it again because they're blocking searches. They're blocking searches. You may have to search it on Google or on a different engine and find it. One of the videos is Rare Nick Jonas video. That's my cousin. It's little Nick Jonas in that video, and then there's other ones besides that. Yeah, doppelgangers. That's the Miller family, which tied to Rockefeller Farm, was tied to Rockefellers, was tied to Tent City, was tied to Vanderbilts and Vandermark and Vander, very wealthy families of the Dutch, German, Greek, the high heads. And the seven heads of the beast, what is the nations? Just so y'all know, you got the Baptist, the Episcopalian, the Methodist, the Lutheran, the Protestant, the Catholic, and what's the one I'm missing, right? But those are the seven heads, and then there's 10 heads that spring from that, and one little head speaking great things. What is the spirit of Antichrist? It's not a person, although a person may, embody that action. It's not a person. It's the spirit against what is, as the Greeks called Christ, which is the as y'all know, your so-called chakras in the Hindi, right? Got your throat and your mouth and your mind and the Christ and your base, which is the base of your spine and your sexuality and your sternum and your solar plexus, whatever they want to call it, right? But the Christ is above and it's outside and beside myself and observing myself being without bias and considering myself. Anyway, the bike's running. It needs some tuning up. Thanks, Handy Andy. Thanks, Alex and Leia. You rock. I appreciate y'all. Thanks, TT, for the awesome sandwich. Cousin Tabasco and beautiful Jasmine. Thank you. Thank you for making a very challenging day more enjoyable, more beautiful. And I hope y'all get to see my children eventually. And I hope I do again soon. I miss every one of you. I love you. Love Dad. Don't be of sad spirits. You know something? You know what humor means? Humor doesn't mean jokes, right? Like in the solar system, not these lights in the sky. We'll get to that, but maybe you already know. Yeah, look at this. That's a farmer tan, right? Yeehaw! Dumb farmer. Hell yeah, ding ding. Um, you got all your orbits with a little leeway and some wobble will get pulled by other orbits, but they all stay in their orbit around the Christ or the sun in the solar system, which is a real thing. These lights are not the sun. These are small ones and they're very close. Uh, and that's how humor is. If you've ever laughed and cried, if you've ever had that moment, um, you know, maybe not think about it as in the sense of, you know, fall into the negative aspects of it, but dwell on it in the respect that laughing and crying at the same time is a balance, and that's what humor is. It's a balance. I like the blues. I like the blues very much. Blues music is very soulful. It's very soulful, but or it isn't, right? Or it's just a thing, and you play this box and you go dun 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 dun, which actually was a good jam at the time, but there's bad versions of those songs too. Yeah, it was a good one, right? What was that one? That was yeah, how'd that go? Uh, let's see. No, not that one. Not the one with the junkyard truck. Well, how did that one go? That was a good jam. Yeah, Sanford and Son, but I forgot how that one went. That was a good jam. Yeah, the Moving On Up jam, that was a good one too. But these are commercial, you know, Punky Brewster. That was a good song. I remember the little one. That's not Soyelle Moonfry. That's a different person. There might have been three of them, but the little one, I remember her. She was cute as a button. Her name is on the birth certificate. It's no, not Amory Mudge Smudge, but I can't read the last name. That was a different one. This is Penelope. Oh, Brewster. Penelope Brewster. Yeah, that was her name. Punky means she had stinky feet. She had wet shoes, wet socks. A boy stood on a burning dock. His feet were all in blisters. The shirt he wore, it was his own. The pants he wore, his sister's. Something like that. What? And Fagin will teach you how to steal and hustle. And God bless the children. You know what? Andrew gets a little squirrely. Handy Andy gets a little squirrely when I say I don't throw out the devil's children in the bathwater, bro. But you know what? God doesn't throw out the devil's children in the bathwater. He said the devil's children will mess you up. The devil's children are not nice. Devil's children are crooked. Yes, they are. But if they could just be reminded, I'll never forget beautiful Nicole with the nasty satanic tattoos. Yes, yes, I have satanic tattoos also. She had this nasty satanic tattoos on her neck, and the hair came up like a bird's nest. She was so cute, and she was all like feeling some kind of way, and I was like, Nicole, do you remember a time when we were little? And she goes, well, when you're abused as a child, you become a sex addict. And I was like, yep, but you're not a monster. And I said, you remember the time when you had to fix the wheel on a wagon, or you pull somebody in a wagon, maybe it had three wheels, you had your favorite tree branch, or your certain spot where you would climb the fence and hold that little twig, it would help you balance, or You broke up a rotten log and pretended it was chicken because maybe you didn't have enough food, like the girl with the rain boots. But there was things when you were a child that were pure, when people wasn't messing with you, they were not messing with you, and lock on to those things, and do not forget the past. Do not erase history. Do not rewrite it. Do not forget it. Do not become the root of bitterness springing up, which whereby many are defiled. Don't be overly religious. Judge not, lest ye be judged. But there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And laugh not when thy brother falls, lest it displease the Lord. And the Lord is the Lord of lords, and it's given to him to judge the earth. And he will judge in righteousness, fairness, and kindness. And he is merciful. I have to go to the so called court, and I told him, you're not getting a dime out of me. You want to throw me in the prison house and beat me and molest me and steal my money and wound my back and my arms so that I can't function or ride a bike or work anymore, then so be it. But you're not getting a dime out of me. I'm definitely not paying y'all, and I'm not going to honor your so-called court, and I'm not going to genuflect, for y'all police feeling me up and beating me up and smashing my bicycle and emasculating me for resisting arrest, what I didn't even know what I'm being arrested for, but I did. It was because I posted videos of other corrupt police and him shaking like that. They're sick dudes. They're sick. But there's a positive video, right? The blues, bro. The blues. Boom. That's the blues, right? Or ooh, ooh. That's the blues, right? Or blue are the life giving waters they quietly understand, but once happy turquoise armies near lay opposite ready and wonder why the fight is still on. Green, and her fiery green gown sneers at the grassy ground. But blue are the life giving waters. Take it for granted, they quietly understand. And once happy turquoise armies now lay opposite ready and wonder why the fight is still on. Lose the greed, lose the envy. Jealousy's normal. I see people with their children, I'll be like, I wish I had my children. I don't know I don't know where they are. I miss them. I miss y'all. I miss you. I hope I make you feel good. There's nothing wrong with sadness. Don't let these people take away your emotions and your feelings and your reality, and your whole orbit because you leewayed or because you wobbled at the pull of some other passing orbit. It's just that's the way life is. But these people always trying to diagnose, psycho the rapist, Psycho the rapist, psychotherapist. I mean, come on. Wake up, world. Wake up. I love everybody. I don't judge. But there is one who does. And you're not going to tie me up in chains and straps and stick me with needles until dead, unless y'all do. And you can't kill me. You cannot kill me. You could beat me, and then some crazed out dude who's been taught to feel and psychically abuse and stalk, and he might roll up and shoot me dead or beat my face until my head is split and I'm dead. But y'all can't kill me. We'll just keep living this over and over forever until y'all wake up. I'm gonna share scripture with y'all, and my children, y'all can handle this. If you don't want to watch it, turn it off. Turn it off. I love y'all. I love you. I love you very much. The redemption of the soul is precious, and it ceaseth forever. The redemption of the soul is precious, and it ceaseth forever. I do not. Thus saith the Lord, and thus saith the Holy Spirit, and thus saith the Father. I do not throw out the devil's children in the bath water. We war not with flesh and blood, but with so called powers and so called principalities and so called high places. Those who are not for me are against me. God forgive me for my lackluster speech and my slanglish and my coarse opinions. The best interest of everyone and their children and their children's children is involved and is at stake and shall be. It doesn't mean at stake like it's at stake like that. It's at stake and it shall be and it will be. Solomon said, "That which hath been is now, and that which shall be hath been already." He was correct. But I say unto you, it shall not always be so. And change is a coming. Coming does not mean what they told you it means. Love does not mean lust. Unity does not mean uniformity. Arrogance and conceit does not mean pride. Some pride is good. Love is love. Coexist. Equality. Gay means happy, sporting, merry, jovial, given to lightheartedness. Recreation has nothing to do with toking drugs. Recreation can be at work, and work is supposed to be fun, even if you're tired. Life is supposed to be enjoyable. And when people tell you that's life, no, death has no part of life, and this shall not always be either. Behold, I hold the keys to hell and death. Thus saith the Lord. Don't worry about what's in the background. It has nothing to do with me. Maybe this will be the 53rd place I'm banned from. Look at that. Burnt, burnt like a red cookie. Like a red cookie. I try to be funny. Some things are funny, some things aren't, right? Anyway, the bike's working. Thank you, and I appreciate it. I gotta tune it in. I want to get one of those nylon cutting boards and, saw a couple pieces off of it and stick it where the chain hits so that it cuts a nice nylon plastic groove. And, those are meant to be cut over and over, so it's not going to shave up and burn. And it'll be better than slapping the side of the rack. And then I got to make a couple braces off the side of the rack for the torque of the motor pulls down on the rack. That's what happened to the last one. If you saw the video, it folded the rack, like just folded it and ripped the hole in my tire. It tore the whole thing up. But I wasn't even abusing it. I was just trying to open it up, but it wasn't ready. It was prototypical. Still is prototypical, but so is my whole my whole gift, right? Life has nothing to do with my success or my opinions or death. It has nothing to do with death. Nothing at all. Life is no part of death. No, life is not a you know what and then you die. That's not true. That saying's not true. These are sour people who are just dog eat dog. That's not life. That's not normal thinking. I'm glad those bees are over there. Those are those Africanized bees, and they bite and it hurts. It's like neurotoxic. Like if they bite me, they bit me on the top part of my knuckle right here on my finger, and like it carried all the way down to here. And then my hand swelled, and then my part of my wrist swelled, like over a period of a so-called calendar day. They bit me twice already, so I'm glad they're over there. They're violent. Like some bees, you could just brush them away or be like, "Come on, get out of here." But these bees, you could just be sitting perfectly still, and they will bite you just because of negative influence. Because they're negative, they're very aggressive. I don't see any use for creatures like that. I don't. I do not. God didn't invent everything that's in the earth. You know that, right? God didn't invent sin. He gave the angles free will, and the lords and the angles of the old English, of the angles of the ingles of the angles of the angels. He gave them free will, and they abused it, and they lusted, and they lorded, and they became conceited, and they lied. All the so-called seven, of the so-calls, right? They were slothful, they were liars, they were selfish, they were conceited, perverted. I don't know what's the rest. I forget. Oh yeah, malice. vengeance, hatred. And the fire cooks the the pot, which cooks the food, and when the supper's served, the pot gets washed and the fire gets put out. So it's a coming, it's a coming. Hear the train a coming. Hear my pain a coming. Yeah, coming up around that bend. Got to go slow around the bend. Warp the track and derail and every slap like that. Takes a minute. Boy, don't need no ticket. Don't need any ticket. That's double negative, right? Don't need any ticket. You do need a ticket. The ticket is called have a nice heart, have thankfulness, attitude of gratitude. I remember what cousin Gary was Busey's doppelganger brother. He said to Harrison Ford's doppelganger brother, he said, I think you've forgotten what an attitude of gratitude means. Listen, I don't wrestle with angles. Angles are, they're rough dudes. I'm not a rough dude. I'm very nice. I hope I make it. But, if I save my life and the rest of the world, goes to see what these people call revelation, is that revelation? The narrative, the script, it's written in the book. We got to fulfill the book. No, we don't. No, we do not. No, we will not, won't. No, we do not. The angels pouring out death and wrath. They've been doing that since you were born and before you were born. Come on, give me a New York minute, would you? Why do you think they call it a New York minute? Because it's very fast. Maybe faster than the rest. I don't know. Let's find out. We'll find out, right? To be determined, to be disclosed, to be exposed, to be revealed, to be revelated. You think that you confront when revelation comes? I don't throw out the devil's children in the bathwater. I'm just trying to do what you order, what you ordered, not what you command, not what you control, because I don't like that plan. But my name's not Stan, and I'm not any man. My name is my child. My child is a while of living, enough to decide, enough to divide, right between wrong and I'm sorry, right between my eyes, like a frontlet. Oh, like a baby bumper, like a rubber baby buggy bumper, like a baby in a tree. Along comes marriage, along comes me in the baby carriage. And here we are, and here these bees are getting closer, and this rap is getting worse. They're gonna sting me for harbily rapping. I have better raps with an old school style, with a vibe from Miles. Hitting number one on your new school dial, but I might not say it like you want me to. But if you groove with this, then we will see it through. With all the mires of fire to define desire. Well, if you free your mind, then you could get much higher. That doesn't mean we get like all fruity and nasty and lustful and abandoning our boundaries and our self-respect and our respect for others and our natural affection. Those are my two side by side favorite words in the whole Bible is natural affection. I don't agree with everything in the Bible. My favorite scriptures are Micah, which is a mispronunciation of Michael, which is a mispronounce uh, of Machiel or Mikhail or Michelle or Michelle, my child, right? He says in chapter 7, verse 18 and 19, with a small g and a small t, who is a God like unto thee? Lucifer, Apollos, Thor? No, no, no. The one, the one. We know who that is. He's a good person. He's slightly worth it. Slightly worth it. He had a carpentry business. He had family. He had friends. He shall see his seed. He's a good person. Me, I'll be lucky to make it as a Job by the skin of my teeth. But, the Lord already gave Joel holy, unholy, lordly hell out of the whirlwind and everything, and then rebuked his so called friends. But, Jesus is like you and me, right? He's a human being, right? Except ye be born again, you cannot see the kingdom of God. I love my children. I love you so much. I miss you so much. Thank you, people, for helping me fix my bicycle. Thank you, Handy Andy. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Leia. With a bone ring in the nose, whatever. I don't judge. If you rock, you rock. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your humanity. Thank you for your childlikeness. And thank you for your natural affection. Thank you, TT, for the awesome sandwich. Thank you, beautiful Jasmine. Thank you, anybody that made my day pleasant. Thank you, guy at the corner store who respects me, treats me right, and encourages me. Thank you, guy at the other corner store. Thank you. And people who say things like you got too much time on your hands. I don't make these videos for y'all's approval. I make them for y'all's edification and for my children and their children's children and the rest of the world, devil's children included. And I make them for myself first and foremost, right? If you don't do whatever you do for yourself first and foremost, then you just posing and acting and hypocriting and everything like that. Man, I wish y'all. I just seen them run by. I seen one of them run by. I wish y'all could have seen that. Wow, there's a squirrel involved. Oh man, this is like nature's pantry over here. We got a squirrel, a ground chuck, and a rabbit coexisting and hopping and playing and leaping and looking for bushes to eat and everything. Man, that's awesome. Man, what a world can be. What a world can be. Sharks with teeth, I don't know. What are you going to do with that? Mosquitoes, I'm not going to mess them. Ticks, I'm not going to mess them. I'm very sorry. Whatever, species or alien or person or, I mean, I don't know if the Mexicans had anything to do with it. I don't think they did. But whatever beings had to do with the look of the mosquito or the tick, I mean, I look like a monkey. What can I do? Right? Monkeys don't really bother anybody unless you upset them, or you provoke them or you encourage them to do wrong. I mean, monkeys can, be encouraged to do nice things, and so can people. So can squirrels and rabbits and ground chucks. One world order, not one world control. Not money world. Wouldn't it be awesome to like all the greedy people just to give them like a giant pole barn with all the currency in the entire earth? Or we'd have to like exact that. We being whoever would be able to do that, right? We the people, as an individual, right? Not I all seeing, right? With one eye like a nutcase. Well, some people do have one eye. That does happen. Maybe even born that way, but that does happen too. Unfortunately, it has happened. Uh, yeah, just like a pole barn with a humidor with like all the currency in the entire world, and like here's like a whole continent. It's yours. Have it. But we don't want people to hurt each other, and at the same time, we don't want them to hurt us. The gun was invented because food was scarce, and cucumbers did not roll down every hill, and raspberries were covered with harsh thorns. And there wasn't much to eat, and poison ivy and ticks and swamps and gauntlet towns would take 2 miles where you could cross a half a mile through the wood, but you can't. Guns were invented to take down an animal very gently because we had to eat, we had to feed our children. A handgun is even any kind of a rifle or anything that's made to kill or to shoot people is the epitome or the epitome of cowardice. It's cowardice, right? It's like you point and shoot. It's like, is that strong? Is it strong if you can, beat somebody and you break their face because you don't like what they think, or they messed up your whole game, which you thought was a game, which, wasn't. You were living in a delusion. Is that strength? If they can melt reality and the skies are light and the skies are dark and the lights fly over and the clocks are wrong, is that strength? And the weather moves in and lightning hits a single person and They take away the air and I can't breathe and they attack my heart with a heart attack or they seize me with a seizure and I die. Is that power? No. Is it advantageous? Is it a vantage? Is it an advantage to someone with a sadistic mind and a heart? Yes. Jesus is the Lord of Lords and he repents of lordship and he repents of destruction and he repents of death and he holds the keys to hell and death and he's a kind person. Yes, yes, Jesus. Com. And slowly the net is spread plainly in the sight of every bird, and there are all manner of creatures in this net, and men of high degree are but a lie, and those that pose as low degree are but vanity. And there are those who are oppressed and whose tears seem unheard. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Look around, look around, look around, look around. There's a lot of empty buildings and stuff boarded up, and the town doesn't, oh, the railings are too low, those steps are covered with slime, they're slippery, oh, you didn't get the ice off your sidewalk, oh, those steps are falling down, there's shingles missing off that roof. That's only what they want to do to you, right? That's not to say those ordinances are not in some way possible for our protection, but they're being abused. And what they have and what they confiscate and what they take and what they lean and what they wait for you to end your life so that your family has no heritage and keep telling you that death is natural, they being those that do it. Military is militant. I have an honorable discharge from the United States Coast Guard. I was abused in the shower naked, unconscious, with being thrown a bar of soap. Willfully enlisted during Desert Storm. I was a young man. I was about 14 and a half. They said I was 17 years old. I was not. They're saying I'm 51. I'm not 51 years old. I've got a 51-year-old farmer tan, though, don't I? And I don't have any veterans benefits. They said I was psychotic, delusional, paranoid, schizophrenic, schizoaffective, bipolar, 75 IQ, which is basically retarded, combative, argumentative, demented, posturing, over religiosity, inappropriate, hypersexualized. Yeah, and I don't have any disability benefits. So, you know, I had a business, I had a house, I had a DBA with the county. I basically paid to go to work every day. Everything was taken from me in about a month and a half space by the police and the military and their family and their friends. So, those who live by what they call power are going to find out what power is, and they're going to find out what mercy is, and they're going to weep and they're going to gnash at the teeth, and I will never laugh and I'll never rejoice about it. Some of the ones what they call retards, they may laugh a little, a lot. They may laugh. I was what was known as an underdeveloped retard, 75 IQ, borderline spectrum. They want you to marry your cousin because it makes a borderline spectrum, which is more psychically sensitive. I didn't want to talk about all this, so I'm going to hang up now. But bicycles running good. I mean, necessary. It's probably necessary, right? Bicycles running great. Bicycles running great. God bless y'all. God bless all of y'all. Oh, good. That's a fly. They're nasty, right? But they don't sting. Get off of me, you dirty dog. I mean, dirty thing, you blue green fly. Get off of me. I don't know where you've been landing. But sure cleaner than being bit by one of those neurotoxic Africanized killer bees. Oh, man. What the? Who invented that? And who activated them? Oh, man. These guys got a reckoning. They got a reckoning. Fame is a lineup. Victims and victimizers. Fame is a lineup. Political fame, entertainment fame, musical fame, poetic fame. Yeah. Literal fame. Fame. Yeah. Clinical fame. Verbal fame. Fame is a lineup. Fame is a lineup of victims and victimizers. hubs. People are spokes that know each other through hubs, and there are hubs that are of hubs, and there are hubs that are of many hubs that people know each other through, and people were people of interests and targeted individuals and what they called prospects and indigo children and star seeds and psychic propensities and that whatever. It's like straining out a piece of sawdust and swallowing a mountain, right? I mean, come on, give me a New York minute. I'm done. I'm done. Pull the plug. Merry Christmas. Have a nice day. The clocks are wrong. I love everybody. I don't hate people. I don't care what y'all say. If you don't like what I say, then hang it up. What do you want? I don't say it for y'all. I say it for me, and I say it for my children and their children, and anybody who cares, and anybody who needs to be sharpened and encouraged. Iron sharpens iron. You know, we hold these truths to be. We, the people, hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, and that every man and/or woman and human being, should uh, be allowed the pursuit of happiness, wealth, and prosperity, whatever you esteem that to be. But capitalizing on the deaths and the plunder of other people's lives through what y'all call interest and taxation, or usury and extortion, or oppression and expectation and predatoring, that's not normal. It's not normal. Somebody said to me the other day, I bet you live with your mother. I wish I lived with my mother. I wish I lived with my poor old mother. I wish I knew where my poor old mother was. I wish I lived with my old mother and my aunt that did me wrong. And I wish they'll repent. I wish my stepfather would repent. I wish people repent, of the wrong things and choose the right things. But religion and oppression and punishment and uh, cruel corrections have made that difficult for people. Makes it difficult. It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks, Paul. Paul was consenting to murder. Paul was up there with the chiefest of the chiefs and the scribes and the pahar I see, sitting in a lawn chair on the other side of the world, seeing you in your dreams, right? He was right up there with all of them, with the Greek, practically next to the Greek gods almost. But, you know, Jesus spoke in Greek slanglish too. They all knew it. It was all around. Doesn't matter. I don't worship the Bible. Y'all will see. Y'all are going to see. Y'allses are going to see. And those who choose righteousness and hunger and thirst for righteousness will be filled. And those that laugh about things that are evil are going to weep. And that's not going to be a happy time. But the so-called retards are going to laugh. I'm not going to laugh, but they will. Maybe not at you, but they will laugh in your face. Not me. I'm going to cry. I'll cry for you as if you were my own soul. They mark my steps. They lay in wait for my soul. Aha, aha, they say. Lord, have mercy. Have mercy on me, a simple man. Forget your lust for the rich man's gold. All that you need is in your soul. You ever have one of those belly laughs and you're like, wow, where did that come from? It was like for real, and it wasn't sadistic and it wasn't demented, but it was just like genuinely hilariously joyful moment. Like that's when the spirit, which is your gift, which is your personality, and the soul agree. That's joy that surpasses all understanding. And sometimes I've laughed and cried, and that's part of it too. Some things are sad and some things are not. Oh, that's depression. Oh, that's hysteria. No labels, no lies, no fronts to hide behind. No labels, no lies, no fronts to hide behind. Think that you confront when revelation comes? Revelation. Oh, it's an apocalypse. Oh, it's an Abaddon. Oh, it's a destruction. Oh, it's a lightning bomb. Oh, it's a the earth shaking. Oh, it's the elements. Man, we're walking on the elements that melted with fervent heat. Look around. Look around. Mm, 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 mm. Look around. We're walking on the elements. That which hath been is now, and that which shall be hath been already. But I say unto you, it shall not always be. Get ready, people. Get ready. There's a beautiful thing that's coming, 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 coming. Don't let them take your mind. Don't let them tell you how to think or how to feel or what to believe about what they've perverted, about what they have changed, about what they being they that did it and do it and will because of disease generationally goes around until you are in remission and repentance of death and sickness and sadness. And sadly, there have been people who died who chose goodness. That's not good either. Bicycle's working good. Love you. I miss my children. Don't lose it, children. Don't lose it. God protect you. God protect you from the people that call themselves psychiatrists. Psychiatry is murder. Educate yourself. Be strong. God protect you from the people that call themselves law enforcement. Get along with everybody that you can get along with. Be strong. Try not to let them mess with your mind. Be in balance in your body, spirit, mind, and soul. Ba 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 ba. That bedtime ba ba boo. Ba 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 boo. I don't throw out the beauty and the devil's children in the bathwater, but that bathwater's got to go. Thus saith the Lord. Yeah, I got three fake teeth. Right here. But my identical twin who grew up in Wyoming does not. There's supposedly one that looks exactly like me who lived in Newburgh as well. I was kind of surprised when people was like, "Oh yeah, he's down the street at Jack's Auto." I was like, "How much like me does he look?" One of the brothers told me he looks exactly like you. The other one said he does not. So I guess time will show. Doesn't matter. I seen the identical twin from Wyoming. Went by the nickname Frankie. I don't know his full name. I wish I did. I'd look him up. I'd call him. Be like, "What's up, dude?" All right. Peace. God bless. I love yo.